Hello everyone and welcome to this video. So in today's video we are going to be looking at Groot. I'm a diamond player in the game, so I've been playing the game quite a bit, and I'm getting good with Groot, and I feel like it's my time to kind of explain to the community and show the community the right way to play Groot, because I more often than not see people using Groot the wrong way. So without further ado, let's get started. When you're playing Groot, you basically have two walls. You've got your left shift, okay, which is this wall. Okay, this wall is called your thorn lash wall, okay, and basically it deals damage to your enemies, okay. And more often than not I see people blocking off the wall, like blocking off entrances with a wall like this, but to be honest, this wall gets broken very easily. Like if they were to just hit it, it breaks down very easily. Also, I see people using their E, okay, and basically this wall is called the Ironwood wall, and what it is it actually gives you bonus health for all the damages that are done around your area when this wall is active. I see people also blocking off entrances with this wall like this, okay. So if you were like hitting an enemy while this wall is active, actually look at my health. Do you see how there's extra armor coming in? It's like around 40 armor every time you deal damage, and even the wall itself gets awakened, okay. And you would know the wall is awakened because when you get close enough, you see the wall coming up. So if I were to go back and if I were to hit and you look at my HP bar, nothing happens because I'm not close enough to the wall, okay. So I need to be around like 20 meters or so from the wall for it to be active. So as you can see, the wall is active right now, and I'm gaining health, getting armor, sorry for it, okay. So actually, what is the correct way to kind of place the walls? What do you do? Well, imagine you're in a fight such as this, okay, and you want to fight all of these opponents. Where would you put your iron wall? A lot of people would take the iron wall and put it behind the enemies and try to block the line of sight and fight this way, but to be honest, I wouldn't put it this way. This wall specifically is very strong, okay. What you want to do is you want to hide it, okay, and you can basically put it into a situation something like this, basically, where the wall itself isn't so noticeable, okay. Sometimes you can even put it inside of places like this, and the reason why you want to just hide it away is because as you're fighting, you're going to be basically getting armor this entire time. So look, now it's 930. After I hit now my left click, it's going to be 970. Okay, now I lost HP, so now it's going to be 998. You see what I mean? So it's quite good to just kind of keep the wall hidden, okay, because it does give you a lot of armor and it does give you a lot of survivability, okay. Now let's talk about your left click and your right click. Okay, so your left click is basically called your vine strike, okay, and basically what it is, you're throwing vines at your enemies, okay, and basically it has a range of not 5, not 10, not 15, but 20 meters. So if I were to just stand at like 21 meters and I were to try and hit this guy, it does not work. But if I were to stand at 20 meters, let's say, so approximately here, and I hit, it works, okay. So the range for this left click is 20 meters, and it's quite strong. In approximately 4 good hits you can actually kill a DPS most of the time with it, so it's a very good, okay. And basically you've also got a right click, and basically the way I think of a right click is it's called a spore bomb, but basically what it is it basically is a bomb that explodes into smaller bombs around it, okay. So if I were to give you an example of how that looks like, let's say I purposely throw the bomb here, so I miss it. Look at how the little bombs explode and it still hits this spot over here, okay. And I'm gonna do it right again just to show you, and it hits enemies that are around the small bombs, okay. So if I were to do this again and I just throw it over here, the little bombs explode and it hits the nearby enemies. Very cool, okay. Now let's talk about your second wall, okay. So let's talk about the thorn wall. What is the right way to use it? Okay, so this small wall, actually I see a lot of people using the wall like this and trying to block off enemies, blah blah. And you know, if I'm a healer, for example, I wouldn't be able to heal the guy that's at the front because the wall is in the way. That's also a good idea to use the wall, okay. But actually what you want to do is you want to try and use the wall in a position that strikes the enemies, because what it is if the wall is within 5 meters of the enemy, so if I were to put it something like this, okay, and if I were to just hit the enemy, you see that the wall strikes them too, okay, and that insta kills them. Instead of using 4 hits to hit an enemy and to kill him, it now takes 2 because my wall is helping me as well. So 1, and then if I do 2, it's insta dead, okay. So instead of the typical 1, 2, 3, 4 before. And the reason why that guy obviously wasn't getting hit is because he's further away from the 5 meter mark. Okay, so what you want to do with this wall is you want to try and play around it. Okay, so you want to kind of make sure that you try and get your enemies in a position where they come and follow you in between these walls. That's how I normally play, and the reason for it is because obviously if they're between this wall, they're just gonna get insta killed just like that. It's very, very, very strong. Most often than not, a lot of people, when they see the walls in a weird position like this, they don't care enough to break it, in my experience, because they don't think much of it. But to be honest, if you're an enemy and you're running in between the walls just like this, and I were to just left click you, look at how much HP is gone. Like nearly 75% of HP is just gone right away. And imagine, I have other friends, other enemies, other teammates, sorry, shooting the same exact person. This guy would be dead right away. Okay, now when it comes to the foreign wall, actually you can place 3 of them at a time. Okay, so you can do something like this, and obviously I think you know what's gonna happen when I do this. Insta dead. Okay, so actually the trick with Groot is you want to always play around your walls. You want to always try and keep your walls active. You want to keep your iron wall, which is your health wall, all the way at the back, far away from everything, to try and protect you as much as possible, and to give you that little damage, that little armor health boost that you need, which I'm getting right now. If you have a look, I'm receiving it right now because I'm kind of close to the wall. And you can also always tell whether you're awakened or not. Right now I just fell down, but I'm gonna go back up. And yeah, Groot's quite a nice character, to be honest, when it comes to using his abilities, that sort of jazz. Now let's talk about his melee attack. Okay, so his melee attack consists of 2 punches, 2 strikes, and then 1 punch that strikes the enemy up into the air. So if I were to show you how that looks like, that's 1, 2, 3, strikes them up into the air. Okay, 1, 2, 3, strikes him up into the air. And obviously it takes you around like 7 hits just to kill 1 DPS, in compared to the left click, which is 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so how would you combine this in a game? So my opinion, the best way to kind of combine this in a game is you want to strike, left click, strike, left click, strike to put them up into the air, and then left click again. And you want to try and combine this in the game because it works really well like a charm. Okay, and more often than not, usually what I would do in a game is I would have a wall like this. Usually 1 wall is up, to be honest, not 2, because maybe sometimes they would be shooting the other wall by accident, and I would do the same thing. So I would strike, hit, and instantly dead just like that, and it's very cool. Okay, now there's something nice that you need to know about Groot as well. Actually, you can use his ult in a really nice way. More often than not, I see people using his ult this way, where they just throw the ult, like, let's say, in a way like this. Okay, and basically his ult, what it does is it drags all of the enemies that are kind of around the ult to the center of the ult, and then gives them a bit of damage over time. So like, let's try this again. Let's see how that looks like. We're gonna do it to these guys again. We're gonna just throw it over here. Look at how it drags enemies just like that, and it deals so much damage to them. In my opinion, this is not the best way to kind of do things. What do you want to do? How do you genuinely destroy people with Groot? Like, what is the best way to do it? Well, let me just kill everyone here, and let's start with a fresh group of bots. Let me show you the best strategy to use his ult. Basically, you want to put a what's it called? A foreign wall right behind the enemy. So imagine I want to ult these 2 guys. Okay, I want to put like a wall just like that. Okay, and basically the idea is I want to press my Q on the wall, and then I want to right click, and then I want to probably left click if anyone else is alive. And that is definitely the strongest combo when it comes to Groot. You can genuinely delete an entire team if you use this combo, I promise you, because it is so strong. You know, more often than not, people are just so like shocked by it. They don't know that it's actually a thing or it's happening. Okay, and sometimes you can even do something like this. So let me just show you how that looks like. You know, you can put 2 walls if the opportunity arises, and let's see how that looks like. You'll insta delete teams, I promise you, with Groot, if you just kind of use your walls correctly. The main issue why people kind of struggle with Groot is because they just don't use them in the correct way. Okay, so let's see. We have 2 walls here. Okay, so we're gonna throw it just like that. My 2 walls insta kill them without me even having to press my right click. You know what I mean? So always play around your walls. Remember, they're 5 meters. They need to be 5 meters away from the enemies. Okay, that's very, very important. Okay, this one has to be approximately like 20 meters away, and yeah, that's pretty much Groot, you guys. I didn't want to overcomplicate anything because, to be honest, I saw so many guides that are just rambling on, going in so much depth when it comes to Groot. And yeah, I think this is just a very short guide, very to the point, very easy, and hopefully you guys learned a lot from it. I really appreciate you watching, and I'll see you guys later. If you guys have any other videos you want me to talk about, any specific characters, let me know and I'll definitely make a video about it. Take care, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.